How does Carlton Bragg's absence, how do you think that impacts things?
I think it impacts things. Look, he plays 15, 17 minutes a game. Obviously, they have a limited front court as it is. It probably changes even more what they have to do defensively to stay out of foul trouble. I mean, my gut feeling is they're going to play defensively like they played against Oklahoma last year at Oklahoma against Buddy Hield. They'll make it hard for Monk to catch the basketball. They'll shrink the court behind. Maybe play a little zone. Might even go some junk defense. They've got to protect, obviously, Landon Lucas, and they got to protect their backcourt. They can't play. If you look in league play the last 5 games, Graham and Mason are playing 35 minutes a game. And what happens with those 35 minutes is they have to, and they're both could be terrific defenders, but they can't afford for them to commit a foul and take themselves out of the game, basically guard themselves. So I think it really probably impacts the way that Bill's going to approach the game defensively. But Bragg, he's an experienced player. He's not having the year that they expect him to have, but he's still a guy that's capable. He's capable of sneaking, get an offensive rebound. He's capable to shoot a 17-footer and stretch the defense a little bit. You got to guard him when you penetrate, so it opens up lanes for Mason and Graham to get in the lane, or Jackson to get in the lane. So it's going to definitely have an impact.
You look at UK, they score a lot of points, but they give up a lot of points over the last couple of weeks. What do you see that other teams are doing against them?
Well, they play high possession games, so there's going to be a lot of possessions, but they play young defensively. I really believe that right now they don't maintain a defensive intensity throughout the possession, and I expect Kansas to run on opportunity, and then if not, to move them and make them guard both sides of the floor, to wait for them to make a defensive mistake, to get a driving lane to make a play. And they play like a young defensive team. They're not going to be probably in April, where they are right now at the end of January. They've got to be able to guard the ball better. They've got to be able to definitely guard that high flat ball screen with Bam better. And that's what people are exploiting. I think that Louisville gave a little bit of an idea of what to do against them in terms of how to spread them out when Quinn Snyder had that big game, and I think other people are trying to do that. Now, having said that, excluding the other night, they've won a bunch in a row. So I think the other night was actually a good thing for them, because John's been telling him, I'm sure, you know what, this isn't right. All right, but you guys have been able to overcome it by being able to make big shots, make plays, go on a run at the right time. Now he kind of has something that can back it up and say, hey, if we don't play the way we need to play defensively, if we don't improve defensively, I don't care who we play, where we play, this is the result we're going to get. So it's kind of a light bulb goes on moment for their team. I'm a little surprised they're further along, but they're so young, and they do have an issue at 4. I mean, this game could come down to basically Josh at the 4 versus the 4 of Kentucky, and then if they could establish Bam, because the guards, who knows what's going to happen. Mason is really good. I mean, Mason is a grown man. I call him a homeless Allen Iverson, poor man's Allen Iverson, and he's so tough, so physical, so aggressive. He attacks so hard, and he's a guy that plays with a chip on his shoulder. Now he's got a little bit of a cause coming off a loss, playing here, playing Kentucky, I'm sure these guys are tired of. He's averaging 20 plus points a game. He shoots 57% from the 3. He's averaged 5 assists a game. He's probably tired of hearing how good Fox and Monk are. I mean, it's just human nature for players.
Who's got the greatest tradition, Kentucky or Kansas?
Oh man, I mean that's a no-win question. I would say that we're very fortunate. We're having 2 of the great traditional basketball programs in the history of our game play a meaningful game in January. Man, that's really good for college basketball. I'm not sure as a coach I'd want it, but doing what I do now and as a fan, I mean, this is a terrific game, and this is kind of a look into the future potentially of what the NCAA tournament could be. So 2 great programs, great traditions. I'd say the only thing is, as good as Rupp is and as loud as it's going to be tomorrow, and I love what they've done with the facility, there's something about Fog Allen that is pretty special. I mean, plus I'm 1-0 there, so I'm never going back to coach there. So I mean, I've never coached in Rupp, but no, on a serious note, they're both just 2 terrific facilities, and what makes these buildings great is their fan bases and the passion and the energy, and really just how important their programs are to their region, institution, and how passionate their fans are.
That's nostalgia with Allen Fieldhouse.
Yeah, you
That's-
can smell the
that makes a
popcorn.
difference.
I mean, it's a great facility, and it reeks from tradition. This is a tremendous facility, but Allen Fieldhouse is right on campus. On-campus facilities are different because you think about the history, you think about the people that have walked those hallways. I was in the Memorial Coliseum this morning, and someone pointed out where Coach Rupp's office was. I was shocked there wasn't a plaque on the wall just commemorating that was his office. Well, at Kansas, I mean, those places remained basically true to its form. And they've done a great job in their renovations, keeping the history.
What are the biggest keys for Kentucky on Saturday?
They got to figure out a way to defend Josh Jackson. Defensive transition is going to be imperative for both teams. I think that what impacts that, to me, is turnover differential and rebounding differential. Because obviously, a team that can rebound the basketball is going to get a chance to get out in transition. The team that wins the turnover battle is going to have to be able to get out in transition, which is, I think, really important. They've got to remain disciplined defensively because once they take Kansas out of the transition, then they've got to be able to set their defense. And Kansas does a pretty good job of moving it side to side and to finish possessions and remain disciplined and committed and connected defensively. Once it gets to the half court, I think it is going to be really important. They got to establish Bam. I mean, Bam is an advantage. Now, it might be harder to establish Bam if Kansas really shrinks the court off with those other guys, which is going to force probably Kentucky to have to play Willis a little bit more. He's going to have to be committed defensively. Like he's going to have to be the South Carolina Willis and not the Tennessee Willis. And that's really what it's going down to.
Isaiah Briscoe has struggled in his last few games. Where do you assess his role in terms of being effective in this one?
I think he's going to be really effective because he could end up guarding Josh at some point. I'm a big Isaiah Briscoe fan. I think that we talk about him being struggling, but I thought the second half South Carolina did a pretty good job of doing what he had to do for their team. He's played in these type of games. He has to show a poise and a presence like an upperclassman obviously Kentucky for sophomores. But he's going to have to defend, whether it's Josh, whether it's probably Frank. That's going to be a challenge for him, and he's going to probably have to help them. I mean, he's the best layup maker in college basketball. I thought Tennessee, he was kind of out of his element a little bit. But I think when Isaiah plays well, they're really good. And I would expect Isaiah to play really well tomorrow. That's just my gut feeling, knowing him and knowing probably, I'm sure, what John's challenging him with.
Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns developed that mid-range game. Bam, in the last game, actually hit a 15, 16, 17-footer. If he can do that, what kind of player can he become later on this season?
Well, I mean, I think you're watching Bam develop, and he's not Cat, let's face it. I mean, Cat had a unique skill set, but I think that this is kind of part of the plan for what John's trying to do with his team. He's getting more touches. Now, he's got to fight for position all the time. Like I had a saying when I was coaching, if you're not gaining position, you're losing position. So he's got to fight and demand the basketball and then know when to release. Like at the end of the Tennessee game, they threw a couple passes and they didn't get a good enough angle, but he's got to also come and meet the basketball. But I think that's part of his game that will develop and that he can be pretty good at. He's getting better. He's getting more confidence. As important is the guards are getting more confidence in him, which is, that's all part of the process of kind of becoming a team.
When you watch Kentucky play, what are some of the things that tip you off that the defense is playing young?
Well, they get beat off the dribble. Their ball screen defense is inconsistent. They had a couple plays in the Tennessee game where they didn't really do a good job communicating in transition. The hardest thing for a young group, especially a group that's been together for a short period of time, is communication and being connected. And when they're not good, they're not in the stance off the ball, they're not guarding the ball as well as they need to be, they're not communicating, in transition, I got the ball, I got the first pass, whatever it might be. And then off the ball, ball screen defense. I mean, there's a lot there for, I think Cal put it really well the other day. This is not the back gym at UNLV in an AAU tournament. I mean, there's a lot more to, I think these young players that are really talented and great kids, They really are. And both teams, really good kids. But you watch as a 17-year-old just being recruited, and it looks easy. You know, we see it all the time. And last year, that LSU group, we're going to go win national championship. It's not that easy. It's not easy being great. It's not easy having to do it every single night. It's not easy with everyone pulling at you. So there's such a learning curve of learning how to prepare, learning how to practice, learning how to compete, not taking plays off. All those things that they didn't have to do because of their talent, they have to do now. And that's hard. It's hard. It's just, it doesn't happen overnight. You can't flip a switch. It's something that has to happen.